That there's Subnautica Station. Goop flounders around in there. Let's see.
Yangu, ajitawa bauta sare dunyokuana.
Says it's good to see you again. He's Goop. You might remember him from the old days when he tried to teach you how to swim.
Mukambe.
Goop says you were always so righteous as a child, and he can still feel it, even at a distance.
Mukambe.
Goop says memories fade surprisingly fast. We are all pieces of what we remember. It's only together we can remember the story as it was.
Ajitawa.
He can't tell you much, as he didn't want to hear anything about it. He can't understand how someone could be so vicious, even though he knows there are reasons behind it.
Zurakia.
He understands you've returned to face Lupa Lupin. That's the destiny you've been carrying within yourself all these years.
Mavaniko.
He says that the catastrophe back then didn't vanquish the good in you. It's still there, as bright as when you were a child. Now the time has come for you to remember and act. Your life is your life, not the story you're told about it. He thinks that's the right thing to do. It's only when you have forgiven that you'll find peace.
Light instantly banishes dark.
How much light do you really need?
All the light, all of it!
I mean, you could leave a little space for the dark.
All the light.
Can hardly believe the world is going to make it. Wonders what that's going to do to the goo. Thanks you for doing everything you could to de-goop the surf.
Wingy.
Thinks the Myriad made a good match with you. You're both like sunshine on the surf.
Yukia.
But hey, back to the goo.
Wingy.
Knows yesterday is already gone. It's what you do today and tomorrow that'll move you forward. You need to set the past aside, at least for now. He can't leave the Subnautica Station, as the pollution has worn down the insulation of his suit, so you must salvage enough scrap to fix up his goo glide, starting with the old wreck box outside. You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want to make the goo glide strong enough to fight the Porky Puff. You're lucky that way. There's still cargo left on the shores from before the apocalypse. His best guess is a tower tanker hit a reef and went under. Toxanol's offshore drilling caused oily matter to spread with the rain and contaminate both the groundwater and open surf. The long-lasting effect this had on the evolution of wildlife was, as we know now, the only reason we came to exist. You need to line up the switches so they match. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework.
Mukamme. Sairuja.
He's got the goo glide functional. You'll have a pull hook and a salvage net, but no armor, and an engine strong enough to break through the thick goo further out. There are lots of valuables left behind on the surf floor that the salvage net will enable you to haul. You just need to find the right spots. Goop says Gizmo's devised a cannon for the goo glide, but instead of bullets, it flips quacks, squeaky distractions for the triple attentive porky puff, which will give you time to get yourself in position. The best way to find quacks is to talk to Gulp. He has the bearings of the surf archipelago and knows where the quacks like to float. This means you'll have the privilege of visiting Gulp in the Sinky Dink. He'll be able to give you directions to where you'll find quacks. He only knows what's visible to the naked eye. Gulp is not much of a babbler and mostly keeps to himself and his drink. Lots of notices on the board for things that made sense in the days when the surf was a lot cleaner. Interesting to see what they cared about here. Wonder if any of it matters now. In the old days, this was a port for boats that went under the surf. They helped clog the surf into goo. They made a lot of green, which is all they really cared about. You should be able to find a track here. Just need to keep your eyes open. You're poking around Pokbur, a prime village. Let's see. Says the tribe Sifu sent them here to help defend against the rival tribe that's been terrorizing their village. Isn't sure how long the village will last if it continues. As if the plague ruining the land and destroying the crops wasn't enough to bring the village to its knees already. That's what they call the blight that's been haunting the land since the old world ended in the apocalypse around here. The Sifu asked you to help, and that's what you must do. Seems surprised you have to go. This here is the Sinky Dink, home of Gulp, at the very least. He's pretty sure he's heard of you before, although the details are maybe a little hazy. He wonders if you have something for him to drink. Says it's both everything you could want and never enough. Says you look like you've got a powerful thirst to do something in this world. Good, bad, not really sure, but it seems like you've been drinking in your destiny and liking the flavor. Wonders if you could take the time to help a man slake his own thirst. You'd be doing him a liquid solid. You're a do-gooder, so you know you want to. Either way, he hopes you find a way to wet your whistle before the world comes to an awful dry end and leaves us all thirsting for more. Says life's like a mystery drink. Sometimes it's amazing, and sometimes it's awful. But either way, you can't stop drinking till you're dead. Sure, that's the point. But you can't stop trying new ones, or life gets dull. Wants to raise a glass to you getting the world fixed up a bit. Respects how you always try to help, no matter that the world's fate is hard to swallow. Sees why you joined up with the Myriad. They like a peaceful drink, just like you. Says he sells them drinks. They mostly suck them down on their own. But who cares about them? Says you'd be as bummed out as him if you came for the hot stuff. The Glugmocker, Nimhimbibble, and his favourite radium syrup. That one's even more intoxicating now, aged in truck tankers and all. Without a drink, and radium syrup especially, he can't move, much less think, as the power of his mind is directly proportioned to the quantity of syrup he swigs. That's why he's called Gulp. The drink helps him forget the state the world is in, but it only lasts until tomorrow. The world is still doomed, even if the sun goes up. Figures the real problem is finding something to drink. He wants you to know he has other interests, too. He's the Surfipelago's self-proclaimed ornithologist, for example. There are other ways than a cold drink to relieve stress, even in these dark times, and, fortunately for you, he can help. Watching pippies flap is calming, but better yet are the ones you can look at and touch, like quacks. Squeezing them is a great way to relax. They're better at floating than flapping, so you should be able to net a few without growing yourself a pair of wings. Let's see. The Quack Hollow. It's just lonely. Not opening for you. You need to line up the switches so they match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Bristles like the hair of one electrified. You need to line up the switches so they match. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework.
Sairuya. Sairuya. Wanakanwako.
That's enough quacks to sustain the Googlide flipper with infinite ammunition. Goop says he was there when the Porky Puff took Out-of-Date's leg, so this World Eater has made it personal. After that, Out-of-Date started using his head instead of his legs and came up with the plan on how to best make a stand against the World Eaters, and it wasn't by foot. He seems happy to talk. Seems surprised you have to go. Tread soft. That's a monster nest, if ever I've seen one. It's the Porky Puff nibbling bark. It took quite a liking to the crunchy stuff after munching down Out-of-Date's leg. Hook the boom ball and tow it beneath the puff. Unleash the quacks. Ain't that cute? A two-bit playing with quacks. Can you feel it? It's the brisk wind of change. Don't let this opportunity slide. He thanks you for dealing with another World Eater. You're halfway there.
Erum denken al wissen, Anne?
He's got word Out of Date spotted Lupin and has a feeling your time has come. He hopes you're up for it.
Bro, plats.
Even though you're good-hearted, you shouldn't miss this opportunity to confront the predator.
Get a wach.
Just head back to the foot of the tree. Fingers crossed Lupin will stay put until you're there. Got word you found the greatest glider of all, an Ark, and it's all good to go. Can't imagine how that would feel, to zoom so fast. Funny that you found an Ark when you don't need to go anywhere in it. The world's still going to be here. Proud of you for thinking about helping before escaping, either way. Wonders if there are any open seats left in that fancy Ark glider of yours.
So, what we have here is an opportunity to help your next. There's a seat open on the Ark should you want to offer it as a gesture of appreciation.
Why? You don't need anyone else but yourself and me, of course, but I'm a part of you, so that doesn't count.
If you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go further, go together. The only one we'd want to get away quickly from here is darkness.
But you know you can't go on without me. Even if I'm bad company, I complete you.
I think we can finally agree on something. It is better to be alone than in bad company. But best of all is being good company yourself.
Feels thrilled to snag a seat in your Ark. Can't wait to glide through the skies. Goop knows he's repeating himself, but can't help talking to you. Says talking to you was interesting. Out of Date says the time has come for you to reconcile with your past. Lupin is still staying in the camp where he was brought up. He hopes you'll find the answers you are looking for there. Even though darkness is a part of your nature, he suggests you try to keep your cool, as the best fighter is never angry. He'll point you in the right direction, but the rest is up to you. This part of the journey is one you'll have to do on your own. Lupin's camp has always been there, hidden deep inside the mountains. Out of Date hopes you'll find your way and the answers you were looking for once you're there. He knows he said it before, but the time has come to put an end to the Lupin's reign of terror. You should get over there, come face to face with destiny. It's going to be you against the Lupin. No rules. He's happy to help. Understands completely. Lupin's camp has always been there, hidden deep inside the mountains. Tread carefully here. This is Lupin's camp. Lupin says he's been looking forward to this moment. He wanted you to come here and see for yourself where it all started. He was so little when your mother and kin came here to put an end to his mother just because she was different, a hunter. That night, the hunter became the hunted, trapped with nowhere to run. He says your mother showed no mercy, only vengeance. He can see that you're not like your mother. There's something different about you. Maybe you would have made a better decision than she did, and let them be. They orphaned him, left him alone, an outcast and a freak. Lupin says he's been reliving the moment every night since then. He says your mother and her disciples started something that couldn't be undone. They created the monster he would become. He knew his time would come, and he was patient. So, when he got news about your birth, he knew how to get revenge that would last. That's why he spared you that night he raised the village when you were a child. He wanted you to suffer for life, like he had. He marked you for life, so he'd recognize you when you met again, and you'd eventually remember where you came from. His hunger grew insatiable over the years to come. He tried, but being vegetarian wasn't in his nature, and he couldn't go hungry. But he's never taken a life for the sake of appetite. It's always been about survival, and that our true self is being who we are. A deep look into nature will make you understand everything better, and that natural selection eliminates, and the strongest survive. Fate is for those too weak to determine their own destiny, and now the time has come for you to accept yours.
Toyetu Korebo.
Out of Date says that from what he's heard, you've been busy. He says he appreciates what you've done so far, but unfortunately he's got urgent news from his friend Noko in the east. Out of Date says that even though he's unsure about your intentions, he hopes you'll support Noko. He says he'll point you in the right direction, but finding Noko and making sure she gets what she needs is up to you. That doesn't sound good. Out of Date was spot on. The hoof puff needs to be stopped. Out of Date says that Noko is worried now that the Eastern World Eater is stepping up its activity. He explains that Noko keeps a fabled steed that she has planned to ride out to the World Eater, but needs help to get it prepared. Out of Date suggests that you should head east as fast as possible and see what you can do to help. He's happy to help. Seems surprised you have to go. Check out that ping dish. Good as a landmark, if nothing else. That's a mind monitor from the days gone. A device that blip screened smart matter. Wouldn't be surprised if it still works. Looks like the inputters need to be linked to get the mind monitor to boot up. Just a few moves left. Make them count. The wrong state of mind matters too. The inputters need to be linked to boot the mind monitor. But it's mind over matter, software over hardware. Success is peace of mind. To get the ping dish to work, you need to line up the pong paddles for a proper match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. That's a match. Now you can ping all the dishes you like. Spin that paddle to turn the ping dish properly. Pingety ping ping, you found a transmessage. head down to that crossway and try to flag yourself a ride. That looks like the control box handles need to be wheeled to buzz the wire. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Wired up and ready to go. That seems the keys need to be in sequence to make the ring dinger work. Just a few moves left. Make them count. So, the technology from yesterday's is still here today, even if its message is getting old. You need to turn the pegs in sync. You really put a spin on it. Sometimes your mind creates an illusion where it's possible to go back in time to relive a moment in your life. We all have things in our past we wish hadn't happened, and can come to remember seeing and doing things that never happened. However, there's no doubt that what you remember makes your future different. Choose the automaton functionality you want to recall. I was wondering when you'd recall how to spring the automaton air gliders. Let's see. Says it's time to set the outpost free. Inflict as little damage as possible as you make your way through to the rival captain. Freedom is not worth having in a world that's doomed. Here's the first line of defense. That's a bomb lobber. That hit the spot, wrecked it. A barrel shoot. Smack it to get a barrel out of it, then hit it toward the gate and blast it. That looks splody. Shoot it and watch it blow. Not too close, though. Boom, you're in. Keep going. Here's the second line of defense. It's smoldering already. Give it a good smack. Give it a good smack. Almost there. The outpost belongs to your tribe now. He says you made them weaker, but they won't give up. Your Sifu thanks you. Your tribe is growing stronger. He says you did a great job capturing the outpost. You're one step closer to ending the tribe war. Says you didn't have much of a choice. Getting jacked. Peddler is eager for you to have a look at the wares. Wonders why you're in such a hurry. Fair and square. At various stages of life, we all become memories for others, and just seeing someone acts as a catalyst for the past to seep in again. Memory distortions are troubling. Illusions your mind creates to avoid the memories of being bullied as a kidling. However, there's no doubt that what you remember makes your future different. So, you remembered the automaton's power-up feature. That's a boost. The Quirk-Quarp outpost. The Netra tribe first beat this into shape. Let's see. Says they've been waiting. Just keep going while you can, and don't stop until all outposts are under your control. There is a high boom team ready to help with taking over that outpost, but it seems their arc shooter is busted. Seems happy to hear the arc shooter will be dropping high booms down on the outpost quick-like. Get up there and get fixing. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Not every day you see a ray lighter from the back in time, but here it is. Seems like the controls need some organizing to set the mechanism in motion. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Excellent. That's illuminating. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Just a few moves left. Make them count. All fixed up. The arc shooters are already gearing up the high booms. Hope their aimers are fixed too. The outpost belongs to your tribe now. He says you made them weaker, but they won't give up. Your Sifu thanks you. Your tribe is growing stronger. He says you did a great job capturing the outpost. You're one step closer to ending the tribe war. Says you're in good company there. Let's see. There's the sovereign who runs this outpost. He didn't expect his outpost to be invaded, but now that you're working with their rival, he can see why. He'll fight if he must. He wished for another solution to the conflict, but it seems he has no choice. It's their last line of defense. Once their guardian falls, they'll surrender. The outpost belongs to your tribe now. He says you made them weaker, but they won't give up. Your Sifu thanks you. Your tribe is growing stronger. Thinks you did a great job capturing the rival's third outpost, and believes the rival is weak enough to engage them at their fort. They all hope you can lead them to peace. They've been waiting for you. Taking control of this fort will bring peace between your... You better be. A tribe's fort is a bigger challenge than an outpost. The plan is to fling you over the wall with a sling lobber. However, he wants you to secure a hard hat first, should anything go wrong. It's better you go and find one for yourself. It can't be too much trouble, though. It's one size fits all. Let's see. Heads up, that's Peak Spot. A great place to watch the world from. Who knows who might be watching you? You need to get the keys in sequence. Just a few moves left. Make them count. So, the technology from yesterday's is still here today, even if its message is getting old. It's time to set the rival tribe free. Inflict as little damage as possible as you make your way through to their sea. Clarifies that rigging the... That's a fire starter. The dry grass looks like it would ignite easily. You just need to create a spark to light a fire. It burns brighter than the light. The battering bonker looks like a great way to get through the gate. Bet you just need to knock and it'll open up. That's bonkers. The Netra tribe values liberty and is striving to protect freedom. They want to continue with each tribe being responsible for their own and believe that uniting the tribes is the only way you can survive. He was hoping it wouldn't end this way. There's no reason to fight instead of uniting. It would be fighting over nothing. He'll fight for whatever shred of hope he has left to unite the tribes and save the Tree of Life. The rival Sifu is defeated, and the destiny of their tribe is in your hands. You are free to choose their fate, but not free from the consequences of your choice. He'll leave it up to you to decide the fate of the rival Sifu, but suggests you be merciful. Do good. Thinks it's a good gesture to offer support to others, and with that, you're spinning your own fate, good or bad, never to be undone. Side by side they'll stand until order and stability is reinstituted. He's gotten news that the other tribes have realized there are no winners in this war. There's no purpose in antagonism. The way he sees it is that you've been forced into opposition. Your tribe didn't start the war, but it's fallen to you to end it. It's clear your efforts have been successful. There's light at the end of the tunnel. The tribes are tired of war and will remember the one who brought them peace, whether you decide it'll be now or later. So, do you want to end the war now or continue the crusade? That's not the answer he expected. You've reached your goal and had a choice to end the war without any more casualties. But he accepts your choice. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen. It's the Netra claw chain. This place is called Brightlight. Mito lives close by.
Sei Kandum.
Let's see. With the world getting darker by the day, there's not much time left to save it, and even though you've just met, he feels you're bound to play a huge part in that. Figures that doesn't make it any less worth fighting. You've found your way through the darkness. You shine like the sun in the sky, but will you use that power to warm the world or burn it? Hopes you see how much good you can do with power like that, and how easy it is to let it drive you mad. No matter where your path takes you, though, it's important to remember where you came from. The past brightlights the present. Wonders if you know how much of an effect you've had upon the world. Your presence changes things like light changes darkness. Did you realize that when choosing where to shine? Figures that doesn't matter. You can't help but shine either way. So happy you know you're helping brighten the world. There's plenty of it that's still worth saving. Whatever happens to the world, you shone as bright as you could. That matters more than you know. Says you did the right thing in taking up with the Myriad. They buy lots of his lamps. That's a tribe that believes in the bright things in the world. Claims he wasn't trying to sell you anything. Now, says he can see by the twinkle in your eyes that you're not here to talk about your allies. He assumes you are here to be enlightened. He can't blame you, as everything just feels dark and hopeless these days. There's something about you, like you're knit together. Your fate's connected. What you've said, he feels too. So, why not call him Me Too? He senses you're like the dayfly, living every day like it's your last, afraid that when night comes, it might be proved right. Believes no one is entirely dark. Even the worst have a spark of good in them. Mito says there's darkness in everyone's life, but as a lamp maker, he wants you to know there's light too. His goal in this dying world is to be like a flame fly, burning to light the way for others, and therefore he still makes lamps. You look like you're in need of a special get-through-the-night lamp, but to make something like that, he'd need a flame fly. Says that's the kind of attitude that spreads light everywhere.
Run, Dark, run!
It's not a race.
You only say that because you're losing.
Doesn't mean I'm wrong.
No, there are lots of other reasons you're wrong.
Mito says he's understand. Blisterboo, known for its perfect temperature and atmosphere. There they are. You fixed those flame flies fast. Mito seems mesmerized by the flame fly. Its fire now burning in his heart, too. Mito says the flame flies have always acted as guiding lights in his life, but with so little time left, he can't just make a lamp from scratch for you. Sometimes there are ether lanterns, as light as paper, floating around in the sky at night. One of those would make a perfect fit for your fly. Scour the night sky and get him an ether lantern to work with. It'll have a hard time shining as bright as you.
There's a bright day coming!
Oh, so wise.
Don't let the dark suck.
The only thing that's...
It's not too late.
Mito says you're making sense to him. Has plenty to do. Remembers you as a quiet kid. Grateful you got over that. So, says you Now that Mito has the ether lantern, he's able to convince the flamefly into making it a special get-through-the-night lamp. He's glad he's able to help you shed some light on a world that's grown so dark. He wishes he could do more to help, but too much light can blind as much as the night. If there's any way to help you see, though, he's happy to do what he can. Says hope is like light. When all else goes dark, it can show you the way out. Knows you have the ark's fuse all trimmed and ready to go. Can't. Says no. Just want to see what you'll do. Thinks it's great you're leaving in the ark, even though the world is brighter than ever. Time to bring that light to other places too, right? He knows you spread your light throughout the land, and he respects how bright you burn. Could you enlighten him as to who you plan to bring along on your journey into the great darkness?
So, what we have here is an opportunity.
Why? You don't need anyone else but yourself and me, of course, but I'm a part of you, so that doesn't count.
If you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go further, go together. The only one we'd want to get away quickly from here is Dark.
But you know you can't go on with...
I I think we can finally agree on...
He's glowing like the sun that you picked him to join you on the Ark. He can't wait to bring light everywhere. Mito says he's ready to... says talking...